I'm rocking and rolling.
Sweet. Awesome. Tuesday, March 10th. It's good to be here with you. I'm here with AJ Boganovic, my fellow trader, business partner. We've been trading for quite a long time now. AJ, how you doing, brother?
Doing great, brother. How about yourself?
Not too bad, man. Things have been crazy, right? In the trading realm. Of course, this is the profession we chose, so we have to be keeping up with what's going on in the world. And as you know, it's been pretty crazy, man. What have you observed so far with what's been going on?
A lot of fear and uncertainty, but that
Mm-hmm.
also calls for the best buying opportunities as well for us. But a lot of fear that a war is going to start and things of that nature.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. War definitely not
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 a
a
trader's
trader's
favorite
favorite
word.
word.
But we're gonna
We're
talk a
going to
little
talk a
bit
little
about
bit about
oil,
oil,
gold,
gold,
and
and
then
then
we're
we're going
gonna
to
finish
finish
off the
off the
video
video
with
with
NASDAQ.
NASDAQ.
And
And
hopefully
hopefully
the
the
audio
audio
is
is
okay.
okay.
I
I
kind
kind
of
of
hear
hear
it
it
might
might
be
be
a
a
little
little
echoey.
echoey.
It is what it is. Um, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn the volume down on my computer really low. So let's talk about oil. Let's talk about energy commodities. Um, so first things first is I went ahead and highlighted 2020 for everybody to see on the chart here. As you can see, we had almost I mean, I don't think it actually hit zero, but I mean, we literally had $13 a barrel, 19, $20 a barrel in 2020 after COVID. Now, this is important to understand because we're going to talk about this move over here that just happened, right? So
So basically,
basically, what
what
happened
happened
here
here
was
was
COVID.
COVID.
We
We
shut
shut
down the
down the
world,
world,
and
and
oil
oil
went
went
to
to
$20
$20
a
a
barrel
barrel
because we had supply shocks. So all of the tankers were just sitting with oil and everyone was staying home. Nobody was going anywhere. We didn't know how long the world was going to be shut down for, right? Travel stopped. No one was flying. Nobody was doing anything. After the fear settled that everything was going to go back to normal, right? You can see oil move back up into 2020, into 2021, and then boom, we had literally peaked at 100 and almost $30 a barrel, and that was at 2022. So what causes this is simply supply and demand economics, right? We had the shutdown, nobody was traveling, spending, going out. Boom, we come out of the shutdown, everybody starts spending money, traveling, doing things again. The price of oil ticks back up, and then we peak up here because we had all-time inflation. So for those who are very good in economics and understand the cycles of interest rates and monetary policy and inflation, we had so much spending after COVID, so much expansion, and then we had stimulus checks that we had a ton of liquidity enter the market, and everybody, the economy was really bustling, but it made prices rise really fast. And that's why you see oil expand all the way from 20 to $130 a barrel. So over here, right, oil had kind of, it slowed down. Oil prices slowed down. We raised interest rates to curb inflation in 2022. Oil prices dropped back down to a medium range level, and we were kind of just chopping around between 84, 60, $56 a barrel. Here we are today, and you can see again, we had oil move from $54 a barrel in December all the way to $119 a barrel. So this kind of move in a financial market, right, is very rare. And with the Iran war, kind of what AJ and I are on here to talk about is why would prices rise like this, right? And I mean, simply put, the American and Israel bombed Iran, which the Strait of Hormuz, we send 20% of the world's oil through the Strait of Hormuz. So oil prices moved all the way up here because basically suppliers and investors are anticipating a global supply shock for the oil market. And when that happens, right, prices rise because you have limited supply and a lot of demand. So really simply put, we saw oil rise all the way to 116 in one day. And then the next day, it crashed all the way back down to literally $76 a barrel. Now we're sitting at $85 a barrel. And you can see it literally just retested the daily resistance. So this basically just became a support. Like it literally resistance became support. And so I'm personally anticipating prices to continue moving higher. I do not think it's going to stabilize, and I don't personally think oil is going to sustain. What do you think, AJ?
See, I'm not too familiar because I don't trade oil as much, but just tape reading and watching it, I do agree. And just from a fundamental standpoint, I do agree that it's just going to keep ripping.
What do you think would make oil stable again? What do you think would make the market and make oil kind of maybe go back down to that 65, 70 level, maybe somewhere in here, and maybe we see some healthy price action again? What do you think needs to happen for that to occur?
Possibly a ceasefire, right?
Possible ceasefire, right? And like, what do you think the chances of that are happening with Donald Trump, Israel, Iran, and kind of the way that we're moving right now as a global world economy?
Slim to none, in my opinion, personally.
Right. And if you feel that way, then that's kind of the insight. Is everybody probably feels that way, right? You don't when you're disrupting global affairs and you're nuking countries. I mean, you're going to wreak havoc, right? So whether or not you like the politics or the geopolitics or not, it is what it is. We're just analyzing what's happening in the world. So, yeah, guys, that's kind of oil. If we do get back down to 68, I'd be surprised if we came down here to 68 a barrel. I think we're going to continue higher, though. I think we're going to continue to support off of these price levels, and we're going to go higher. So that's oil. That's kind of what happened there. Let's go look at gold real quick, and then AJ, I'm going to give it to you to look at NASDAQ because, obviously the stock market is also going to react to what we're seeing across the board, right? Oh my gosh, that chart is just wrecked. Here we go. So guys, gold continues to trend, obviously. Gold's continuing to trend. We're making higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And we're not, these are all protected lows, right? This is a protected low. This is a protected low. And I think we're putting in another low right now. And then I think we're going to actually continue higher. I think we're going to continue extending upward. I mean, very simple, very, very simple, just off of kind of the overall trend. And pretty simple analysis here. Once we get back up to this 618 retracement, I think gold's going to go higher. It didn't. What's funny is it didn't react to the war like I thought it did. It actually tubed. It actually dropped. Gold actually dropped all the way back down when the news came out for Iran. And I like using the fib tool, right? We hit the 786, right? We came back into the 618, and literally the thing about the fib tool is, I mean, you can see this thing going both ways. You had literally two levels where price was, so you have this 618 here, and then you have this 618 here, right, after that drop down. And we literally have just been ping-ponging between those two price levels. You can see it, right? You can see how we've been ping-ponging between the 268 levels. So I'm just kind of watching, and I'm looking for gold to come up to here. AJ, do you have anything on gold? I know you don't trade that either, but I mean, I just see it going higher, dude. I see higher low, I see a higher low, and I see another higher low they got put on Sunday. I think we're going to continue trucking to the upside here.
I mean, I completely agree that we're going to keep trucking to the upside, but not even price action wise, from a fundamental standpoint, seeing gold do that absolutely tube with the war news just puts that perspective in my mind that observing the masses is and doing the opposite is always going to be the way to go because the majority of the time the masses are not right in the market like at all. Everybody thought the stock market with NASDAQ and everything was also going to tank or was going to be bullish and it tanked.
Right.
So
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know what I think actually happened is I bet gold was over leveraged here.
Mm.
And when the Iran news hit, it tubed, right? And it took out, I mean, it took out all the longs that were in here, right? So yeah, I think what happened was Iran war hit, people went long, and then the market tubed, right? So complete opposite on that one. But I think, yeah, long term, I think gold's gonna definitely continue to go up. Um, so yeah, guys, that's kind of my outlook on the geopolitics a little bit. And when we talk about commodities, commodities is very important in world markets, right? Gold is a precious metal. It's physical. Oil is physical. It drives the global economy. Everybody needs oil. And I'm going to end with this for me, and then AJ, I'm going to pass it over to you. You have to really think big picture here. Oil, the cost of oil per barrel is so important because everything derives on oil. If you own a restaurant, right? You get all your produce and all of your belongings and all of your inventory from a food truck, and that food truck has to pay diesel at the gas pump to transport the food to the restaurant. What about airplanes? They have to fill the airplane with jet fuel. So if oil keeps going up, guys, it's going to get very, very expensive for everything, and that's where inflation comes in. So prices will continue to inflate, and that's just not good in terms of affordability, right, and for jobs and the economy. So keep that in mind, and that's kind of what I had. So AJ, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna give the thing to you, and let's look at NAS. I'm interested to see what you're seeing on NASDAQ here.
Sweet. All right, so with NASDAQ specifically, I mean, the stock market's always going to tend to go up. So if we go to the CFD, you can see that the stock market is always going up. There's only about 3 times in history that the stock market actually breaks structure to the downside, and that's going to be in huge events. The 2008 crisis, April of 2024, and things of that nature, COVID, and things of that nature. So I'm honestly still expecting bullish price action from the stock market. And even going back to the war, everybody thought that we were going to dump right here when we had that huge opening gap. We thought we were going to keep dumping. No, we just completely reversed and took off. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier with observing the masses and doing the opposite. Because the majority of the time, the masses are not right. Like, no time in history has the masses been right. But really, just looking from the stock market, I'm just expecting it to keep going up. I mean, NASDAQ, we've been stuck in this disgusting range on the
It's
daily.
disgusting.
Like, really
Dude, that is
disgusting.
disgusting.
I mean, trade opportunities have been there, liquidity to liquidity, imbalance to imbalancing, rebalancing certain levels and whatnot. Even today, we had a market maker sell model, and we didn't get these equal lows today at all. We're just kind of straying away from them, but we had our manipulation with the higher time frame high right here. We didn't quite get this high from March 4th, but I would still indicate that as manipulation. And in the MMXM masterclass video, I talk all about these MMXMs and go over them, but didn't quite get that today, so no trade. But that's really kind of all I have for NASDAQ. I mean, this just looks ugly right now until we kind of break out of this, and I really just want to see it keep going up to the upside and create more all-time highs. Even looking at ES, same thing. Like, this even looks worse in my opinion. But generally, the stock market is always going up. Like, few times we have these retracements, these massive retracements, or quote unquote breaking structure on a higher time frame. Like, here you could, like, April 2025, not 2024, sorry, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, the stock market looks to be trucking, and like I see what you're saying. It kind of looks disgusting. The Nasdaq does. The S&P looks okay. I was gonna say a break of what 6,300 would maybe be bearish.
Right. I would agree. Somewhere, yeah,
Or no,
62.
sorry. What is that? What that daily can? Yeah, there it is. So 65.
Yeah, somewhere
A
around 60.
breaking close on the daily below that, and I'd be bearish, bro, for the global conflict. But I 100% agree. Other than other than that, dude, I mean, look at that recovery on the weekly, right? For the week already.
Yeah.
So but not too many, not very good gains in terms of the year, right? So the year has started off a little flat. And when you zoom out on that chart, I mean, bro, it looks like we're almost due for a tiny little pullback. I mean, not timing it or anything, we're still bullish, but you know what I mean? Like, I definitely think we're still bullish, but if anything happens, we're going to round the corner and pull back again. So,
right? Because we'll have these
it's
big
got to be major, though.
moves,
It's got to be
1,000,
major.
yeah, 20%, like,
Yeah, but look at that run after COVID, right? That was such a massive cycle. And then after that pullback, we had another massive cycle. And then we had a small tariff pullback, massive cycle. And this cycle may not be over, right?
right?
Like, I
100%.
definitely agree with you. I think we're still bullish.
100%. Man, that's really all I have for stock market wise. I mean, NQ, yeah, NQ does look terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised. NQ looks nasty. It looks so gross. Well, hey
100%.
man, yeah, and we'll definitely continue to keep an eye on the global affairs, you know, and then be making videos on frameworks, trading frameworks, some psychology stuff like that. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, AJ.
100%.
Appreciate you, my friend.